Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's July 4th, 2019. Happy Independence Day to my American listeners and friends. Today's episode of the Krusty Connect podcast, we are going to discuss the whole crap in regards to harassing a journalist, Mr. Andrew Ngo, I think his name was, and other liberal BS. All that and more coming up on the Krusty Connect podcast. Stay tuned.
Hit it, sweetheart.
Sir, aye, aye, sir.
And welcome, everybody. It is July 4th, 2019, on this beautiful, beautiful summer day here in Alberta, Canada. As I say again, welcome to all my listeners out there, especially my American friends. Happy 4th of July to you all. And, well, let's the title it says for itself. Let us talk about Andrew Ngo and his situation with the ANTIFA thugs in Portland, Oregon. Now, the past couple of years, Portland has been on the map with all the Antifa uprisings and protests against Trump and all the so-called division he's promoting and everything. And the only thing I got to say about that to you Antifa thugs out there, if you're listening, you guys really suck. How else do I say it? You know, you're effing retarded, and I'm going to say retarded because you act like a bunch of spoiled, rotten little kids. You sit there thinking you're fighting the good fight. You don't want inequality. You're fighting for the marginalized people, and you take it upon yourself to ritualistically harm a journalist, someone you disagree with. Now, throughout my time doing this, being online, broadcasting my thoughts and my perceptions and my points of view and all that, and from the time serving in the military, even to times I can remember before I joined the military, there have been a lot of journalists who have said some really stupid things out there. Regardless of how much I've disagreed with them, or how many times I would make that little wish to myself, you know, I hope someone kicks your ass, I never followed through on that. You know, we live in democracies, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter if it's a parliamentary system, or if it's a Senate or a republic. Freedom of press, period. Just goes up there with freedom of speech, period. You know, how else do you say it? You may disagree with an article from somebody, you know. In one of my podcasts, I disagree with the article that was written by a friend of mine, written against a friend of mine, calling him white supremacist when the man is Asian, right? I disagree with that article, but I never went out of my way to harm those people that wrote said crap or wrote said filth. Even though the story was garbage and it wasn't based on anything factual, just their own fucking agendas. But I never went out of my way to throw any kind of toxic milkshake at them or any kind of sticky string or any kind of rocks or sticks or try to harm them in any way. So, the Antifa thugs out there that care to listen to this broadcast, I dare you to try that with me. Honestly. I'll stoop to your level. I double dog dare you. Hey? You want to throw crap around? You want to throw so-called the Antifa milkshake, you know, the actual milkshake mix with a bit of concrete or cement or whatever you want to put in them. Think you're doing the world a favor. Guess again. Don't be crying. You know, if you go to the wrong protest someday and someone clocks you over the skull with a baton or a stick or a makeshift weapon of some sort. Don't be crying if the police herd you into a fucking paddy wagon like a bunch of feral cattle and then lock you up for a period of days until your mommy and daddy come and get you. Now, I never read Mr. Andrew Ngo's articles. I never read his work, right? But from the footage that I've seen, and we'll leave a link at the end of this broadcast there for you, he was just basically standing there by himself, getting harassed at all aspects of the compass. Throwing crap at him here, throwing crap at him there, getting hit in the back of the head with whatever milkshake, you know, sticky string. Isn't that just children's toys? Like, you retards are bringing toys to a fucking protest? Really? Man. Oh, for crying out loud. Regardless of what you feel about reporter or any kind of broadcast journalist or any journalist for that matter, really, really out of touch. Don't call yourself anti-fascists. Don't call yourselves you want change and good positive and say magical things like, oh, there's no room for hate here. And yet display such pitiful fucking hatred for somebody. And for what? Right? What was your overall goal on that day? Right? Let me know what you think. CrustyBCanuck67 at gmail.com or CrustyCanuck.ca. You can find me on Facebook under Krusty Canuck or on Instagram at Canuck Krusty or through here on Podbean. And if please consider donating, becoming a subscriber to my podcast, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more the merrier, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider donating. 30% of every donation and every sale for my Teespring line, I will graciously give to the Calgary Veterans Food Bank to help other vets in their time of need. Anyway, carrying on. Mr. No, from what I've seen of him via the, I think it was David Rubin he was on. Anyhow, I'll leave links at the bottom here. He wasn't too impressed. Poor guy had to go to the hospital. And I think get a CAT scan done because he had a hemorrhage of some sort. I mean, long story short, he was injured. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Right? You go there, do your job as a journalist to cover a story, to give her the facts you can, like a responsible journalist should. Try to make sense of the whole thing, and then you end up getting harassed and then bullied and then beaten up because of who you are, right? So for all those persons out there that are worried about the marginalization of certain groups of people, you really did a number on this poor guy. Apparently he's a Vietnamese American, gay, and, soft-spoken, whatever. That doesn't matter. It shouldn't fucking matter. He was there to do his job. And you anti-fuck clowns, children, right? You're hypocrites. You're hypocrites, right? You're a waste of space. You sit there, say you're fighting the good fight, and yet half you kids couldn't fight your way to a wet paper fucking bag. Honestly, you got to bring sticky tape and string, that aerosol string shit. Then they used to put that in like water cannons back in the 90s for little kids. Then they come out at the same time as Pogs and all that other crap, right? Well, I think a lot of you kids are full of shit. Half of you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You expect things to be handed to you on a fucking platter. And yet your display in Portland was pitiful. Now, I'm not saying all you so-called anti-fascists out there would do that. But if you're constantly going to put people in the groupthink spectrum, well, if that's what you guys are promoting, then I hate to tell you, kids, you're going to have one hell of a fight in your hands. Because I personally know some journalists who wouldn't tolerate that. And yeah, they might go to a protest with a helmet on or some kind of protection. But I also know them that can fight pretty well too. And don't be surprised if someone gives you a roundhouse to the chops. Or puts a bottle up your ass sideways. Right? Don't be crying home to mama, screaming assault when you pull that shit off, kids. It's a two-way street, boys and girls. You want to throw violence like that? Don't be surprised if it's going to come back and bite you in the ass later on. Right? Mr. No, if you're listening, by any chance, my condolences, my deepest sympathies to your experience. But that's a chance we got to take, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting more difficult, as I see in both of our countries, here in Canada, and from what I've seen from the States. A lot of reporters are getting chastised and doxxed and treated like absolute crap because of opinion. If you can't handle someone's opinion, what the hell are you doing? Like, if you can't handle someone's opinion, what the hell are you doing in college or university? If you can't handle someone's opinion, what the hell are you doing out in the workforce? Right? Life is not meant to be comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. Life is not meant to be comfortable 24/7. Life is not meant to be sweet and full of romance and prestige. There's going to be hard times. People go through hard times. People see hard times. People live through hard times. And just because you're 20-something and you think you're entitled, guess again. Get off your ass and work for it, just like that reporter was doing. But instead, you had to turn around and pull a tantrum and start throwing crap at him. Well, not in my watch. Not going to happen to me. I won't allow it. And I got a lot of friends that I'm building up in this business that are going to stand up and not take any more of your shit. Basically, I will gladly serve a couple days in the slammer, and I will gladly take an assault charge if it meant stomping one of you kids. Honestly. If you're going to treat people like that, you deserve to be treated just the same. It's the way life goes, kiddies. Life is not one big coddling adventure. It can be scary if you let it, but it can be wonderful if you let it work too. You want to sit there and scream, unity, and you want to scream justification for all these terrible things, and yet you want to turn around and throw rocks and so-called milkshakes at people. Well, you're just adding more to the problem. And you're adding more fuel to the fire. So don't be surprised one day, like I said, if someone turns around and gives you a roundhouse to the chops or sticks a bottle in you sideways. Right? A lot of people out there are getting fed up with this crap and the status quo and this groupthink mentality and this newspeak mentality and this political correctness. Right? You guys call progress. It's not progress. You're sending us back in time. For what? Just so your feelings won't get hurt? Step in line, sunshine. I've had a lot of people step in my face and say things to me. And I've witnessed a lot of good people have things said to them. And they're still here. They're still rocking and rolling. They're still making a difference. So what's your excuse? Anyway, to my other listeners out there who enjoy what I do, please give me a comment. Give me some positive feedback if you can. You can reach me at YouTube. Send a comment there, or a comment here on Podbean. Right? Or you can reach me at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Or on Facebook and Instagram at Canuck Krusty. Tell me what you think. Anyhow, moving on to more liberal BS. Well, this is more of a rant, if anything. I don't really have a heading for it, but I don't know about you folks. I'm getting really tired of the contradictions here. Every time I see Catherine McKenna get on the microphone, I want to hurl. Every time I see Justin Trudeau get on the microphone, I want to hurl. Every time I hear somebody from the Liberal Party discussing immigration policies or environmental policies or foreign policy, I just want to hurl. I don't know about you, but I've had enough of these clowns. Right? The basis of a lot of my video work and my podcast is slamming the Trudeau's liberals. Right? Like I've said before, they're not the liberals I knew. There's nothing very liberal about them. Do as we say, not as we do. Plastic straws and cutlery are bad. Yeah, so we have to get rid of it all. And you have to give away another $25 million to a foreign nation to help them fight climate change. I'll leave a link at the bottom here. But, we got a government that wants to give our money away. Say they're protecting the environment. Say they're doing wonderful things for us in the name of progress. And yet, I look at my bank accounts. And, I don't see too much progress. How about you? How about the rest of my blue-collar listeners out there? What do you see when these clowns get on stage and tell us how much more money we have to give for their cause? And how much more money they have to fucking give away in the name of progress, right? Miss McKenna, I hope you don't get elected again, honestly. I think your approach to leadership is terrible. Your politics suck. Your understanding of the nation sucks. And you don't have anything concrete to offer this nation other than just chatterbox bullshit. Like you were quoted even saying, say it louder so people listen. Right? In your position, actions speak more than just you stomping your feet and denying people an opinion. Mr. Morneau, same thing with you. You came from a rich background. You came from a well-to-do family. You married into a well-to-do family. So who are you to tell Canadians how much more money we have to give you? Treating small businesses the way you did. Right? People building things from the ground up, and you want to tax the shit of them because you think they're havens. How about your Mono Chappelle little pension plan? How much of a tax haven is that for you, you greedy fuck? Right? Mr. Goodale, you and your bullshit with security, public safety, my ass. The problem is illegal guns, yet you won't do anything about illegal guns. Right? There's a fucking opioid crisis going on in this country right now, and you're too goddamn worried about how the image is going to be when you allow more ISIS fighters to return to this country. Right? How's that for your public safety record? Why don't you take another snooze in Parliament, right? October 21st, folks. Vote with your heads. Who's going to be the better people for the job, right? I'm not really going to say who I'm going to be looking forward to, but it's definitely not the Liberals. I'll tell you that much right now. Nothing liberal about them. Not the Liberals my mother grew to love. Not the Liberals my father grew to love. Let's just say it. I'll say it. They're fucked. Pardon my F-bombing, but hey. How else do you explain it, ladies and gentlemen? How many of these Liberals have actually grown up with a proper blue-collar understanding of things? Really? How many humble beginnings have most of these leaders come from? I ask you that. How many of these leaders actually have the intestinal fortitude to get up in the morning and really live with themselves based on the decisions they make? Right? Doesn't matter if they're PC, doesn't matter if they're Liberal, NDP, Green, fucking rhinoceros. To my understanding of leadership, you've got to follow through in your plan. You got to follow through in these decisions. And you got to be willing to fucking take a punch in the guts once in a while. And realize you fuck up, try to make it better. But when I see these clowns, they don't try to make anything better. SNC Lavalin speaks for itself. Justin Trudeau would rather look after a handful of Quebec jobs rather than jobs in the country. Right? Climate Barbie, she'd rather look after her image than actually tell the truth about something. Krista Freeland, I won't even go there with her. Right? She's a business journalist. Oh, she went to Harvard. Oh, yes, pardon me. Yes, yes. Or was it Yale? I don't know. One of those big wig Ivy League schools. Right? So that speaks for itself, too. Right? I've had a few snotty emails come to me about one individual called me sexist because I didn't tolerate Freeland's bullshit. And there's nothing sexist about disenfranchising or disagreeing with someone who isn't qualified to do the job, as far as I'm concerned. Right? And she was one of those clowns on the UN saying that white supremacy is such a big issue in Canada. Really? Did I not just mention we have an opioid crisis going on? Right? And these clowns are fucking worrying about plastic forks and straws? Right? Come on, folks. Yes, I'm white. Yes, I'm Caucasian. Yes, my roots come from Britain. What does it matter? Right? My best friend's First Nations. I have lots of friends from different minorities. I'm in touch with people through this broadcast. Some are Asian, some are First Nations, some are East Indian. I've had the pleasure of talking to some Cajuns from Louisiana there. Nabuzu Shabé there. Yeah. Ironically enough. Really good. So, when people are quick to jump to call people racist and white supremacist, think about it for a second. Right? There's nothing racist about wanting things done responsibly. There's nothing sexist about wanting the right person for the job. There's nothing bigoted, right? And you want things done right. Right? Just because you don't follow the line of the Antifa milkshake fags, pardon my expression, or the Antifa milkshake, how do you say, children. Yeah, basically children. Right? Pardon me for dropping the F-bomb there. But I'm not going to apologize for calling them what they are, children. I'm not going to apologize anymore for calling people what they are. You act like a child, you be treated like a child. You're in a leadership position, you don't lead, well, you're a dick, as far as I'm concerned. Right? Well, I really don't care what these children think. I've had to tighten my belt. I've had to get out and work. I've had to get out and figure things out. They're no different. Right? They're not. There's no difference between those clowns with masks on their face and those milkshakes than a kid playing with his or her shitty diaper. Little tantrums, folks. Right? A lot of people in my age range are getting tired of it. Really. We're getting tired of the lies and the BS and the lackluster politics. We're getting tired of people sitting there just giving up lip service for the sake of their own little identities and their agendas. Yes, I'm right and you're wrong, and you'll kiss my ass and do as I say. Yeah, that's the image they keep promoting. I've actually had a comment from somebody on my page there in regards to what news he used to watch. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't have any permission to do that, but he made a very, very valid point that he used to watch one network loyally for about 40 years in regards to news and things going on in the world, and how he personally felt there was an unbiased approach to what he would watch every day. And he would say, the past year, he has not been impressed with what's been going on in the mainstream media. Right? So whether it's the mainstream politicians or mainstream media, something's up, folks, and something's not right. We're getting a bunch of clowns in office, unqualified people in office, calling the shots. Political correctness has gone way too far in regards to feelings rather than facts. And you're getting journalists in both sides of our border who are getting harassed and doxxed and treated like absolute. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting pitiful. It's getting, I don't know. All I can say is, ladies and gentlemen, all walks, no creeds, to my Cree friends, to my Ojibwe friends, tell everybody that I have talked to over the past year while doing my videos, my podcast. All I can say, we got to stand for what's right. We may disagree on things. We may not like this person or that person or this society doing this or this group of people doing that, but we're all here under what we call the guise of Canada. We have to start in our own backyard, folks. We have to start listening, but we also have to start showing that we're not going to tolerate childish insolence because someone's feelings might get hurt or someone disagrees with you. I'm not one to push violence down people's throat, but it's coming to a point, folks. We got to start fighting back. Really. We got to start taking a stand against this so-called status quo and the so-called groupthink mentality, right? We got to take the mobs on. We got to take these protesters. We got to show them no more. Right? No fucking more. Right? There are a lot of people out there that work hard. Myself, my wife, a few of them, friends of ours, my family. My father is still working. He doesn't have to. He's well retired, but he still goes out and helps people. My sisters, my cousins, my friends. My aunts and uncles are still working, trying to make things work here. And I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned that if they're going to go after journalists, who else are they going to go after? You're welcome to try me, ANTIFA, anytime. Right? You want to meet me face to face? Okay. Let me know. I'll stand on guard for thee. I did it before. I'll do it on you guys, too. All right? And I got a lot of friends that'll back me up, too. Right? But if you want to keep fighting, find a reason to fight for. I'm going to fight for this country. I'm going to fight for people's freedom to speak, freedom to think, freedom to print what they want, to do what they want, to create their own prosperity as the way it should be, to create their own life, to live in happiness, peace, security, and freedom. And anybody who wants to challenge that and take that away, you're going to get a fight in your hands, folks. Period. So I hope my listeners know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. Not that I want to draw lines, but it's getting more and more evident. Every time you turn on the tube or every time you look at any kind of social media, Right now, as we speak, we got a guy in Britain, Tommy Robinson, who is fighting for his right to speak freely. Right? Whatever trumped-up charge they put him through now. But, I feel for the guy. Regardless of what your point of view is towards certain aspects of immigration, he's just fighting for the truth, folks. He's not a racist bigot. He's not a white supremacist. He's not a Nazi. He's not part of the National Front. He's not part of any kind of Nazi organization. He's a blue-collar Brit, raising his family. And every Brit that I know wants peace and security. Why is he any different? And it's funny how the only media source, Canadian media source there covering it, is the rebel media. So hats off to the rebel for going out of your way to protect one's freedom. I know, it's hard to say. But I'll leave a link at the bottom for that for you too. Yeah. I know, folks, it adds up. You know, we got too many shitty politicians, too many shitty administrators, too many wankers calling the shots. You know, wankers and wankettes or whatever you want to identify with. Well, and it's it's just getting fucking ridiculous. More F-bombs. Yes, tonight's episode is full of F-bombs. Right? Well, I'm not going to apologize, though. Well, I'm not going to apologize for speaking my mind against the milkshake tossers, the whiny little kids who sit there worried about the conspiracies of the world, and yet they're creating the most conspiracy around. Right? Well, Hurt Feelings Brigade out there, full force. Well, here comes the Reality Brigade, kids. We're coming. Keep going where you're going, and yeah, you're gonna find some resistance, and you won't be able to run to your mommy or daddy's basement to hide away this time. So, pardon me, I'm having a cigarette. Yes, I'm still smoking cigarettes. Just goes to prove how imperfect I am too. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys decide. I hope you guys, come October, we make a good decision on who we're going to have running this country. You know, regardless of what your personal feeling is towards Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or whatever wankers, you know, want to call the shots in the United States. You know, do it well, do it proudly. You know, look after your family and friends. To my American listeners out there, my apologies. Some of my program keeps cutting out for some reason, but it'll be up and running on YouTube sometime this evening. Better format. Anyhow, let's just, you know, why can't we work together when it comes to this frickin' nightmare, you know? As a soldier, you know, you're trained to overcome and adapt to many things. But I'm no longer a soldier anymore. I'm a civilian. I've been a civilian for a short time now, and I'm just seeing the crap that's being presented to us. Not to other soldiers, just to us as adults. Right? Yeah, why isn't mainstream media all over this whole thing? You know? Now they'd rather worry about, you know, Miss Cortez and her crying, her crocodile tears at the open parking lot, right? You know, you're also finding more lefties harassing a kid, you know, a little 8-year-old AOC. You see her on Facebook once in a while, you know. As much as I don't like children being used as political pawns, you know, that little kid was quite entertaining. And now apparently they're trying to dox her too. They're trying to get her in trouble with death threats. And I'll leave a couple links there at the bottom of my page here. But for those who have seen it on Facebook, it's quite disturbing, you know, that somebody would be so insulted and offended by a little kid. Really, by a child, by a little kid, by a little girl, you know? And maybe mom and dad were wrong by putting her in that position, but needless to say, you know, why would you be threatened and intimidated by a little kid? You know? It just goes to show who's actually got the maturity to get things done in both of our countries. You know what I mean? And who are you going to trust? Who are you going to allow stand there, you know, for you, to respect your riding or your district, or respect your province or your state, or to respect your country, right? Something to think about, folks. You know, I'll leave links at the bottom of the video here, but or correction, the bottom of my podcast here. But I know you decide. You tell me, you know, which is going to be the better choice. What are we going to do when it comes to any kind of fight against these clowns? You know, regardless if you sit in the left of spectrum or right of spectrum, or in the center, or in the far left here or far right there. You know, people who sit in the right are not Nazis. People who always sit in the left are not always communists, right? We have to differentiate from that. You know, I had some left-leaning ideas when it came to being a classical liberal. I also have some, you know, I used to have some left ideas, right, in my youth. And I also have some right ideas in my present age, right? Fiscal responsibility, socially liberal, live and let live. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, knock yourself out, right? Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. I don't care who you love who you want. Do what you want, do it well, right? Just don't be screwing with other people's freedom. That's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, right? I don't care if you celebrate your gayness. I don't care if you celebrate your straightness. I don't care if you celebrate oblong, right, obtuse triangles. Knock yourself out. Do it well. Be good to people. But there comes a time where you're going to have to fight for something bigger than your personal feelings. And I think that time's coming, folks. I can't predict the future, but there might be a fight coming. I don't know where, when, how, but, you know, I just hope nothing terrible happens. I hate to see it, but anyhow, enough of this drama, enough of my rambling. Once again, I'll say please consider donating to my page, donating to my cause here, trying to supplement my income, as well as try to give a good donation to my friends at the Calgary Veterans Food Bank. Please consider, $1, $2, $3 or $4 a month, $5 even. My offer still stands with T-shirts. If you can give me a donation of $5 or more a month, I will gladly mail you a T-shirt of your choice from my Teespring line. That's $5 to $10 a month pledge through my patron here in Podbean, and I will gladly mail you a T-shirt of your choice. No charge to you. If you want any more details, please send me a question in the comments section or send me an email, krustybcanuck67@gmail.com, or you can reach me through Facebook, Krusty Canuck, or on Instagram at Canuck Krusty. And if you have any questions in regards to the $5 to $10 donation to T-shirts, please send them my way, and I will accommodate. So please consider donating. Extra income will help me out a bit, create better broadcasts. I'm actually looking to possibly maybe hire someone in the future to make this podcast more video friendly. So I might need assistance. So if you donate now, wherever you can, please. It'll help me a lot. Thank you very much if you can. To my listeners, my new subscribers out there, thank you very much for this. I can't speak English. Thank you very much for the subscriptions. I appreciate it. I'm really impressed with the turnout I've had on YouTube and more on my Podbean. Thank you once again to my new subscribers. You're really trying to help me make this a reality. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you once again. I have been Krusty Canuck on this beautiful 4th of July. Once again, to my American listeners and my friends, happy Independence Day. Kick ass. And I'll see you next time. Remember, love each other, take care of each other, and remember, humanity merit wins the day. Take care. Bye for now.